So I want to quickly talk about this clip that went viral from the Pop the Balloon show here on YouTube.
So we still do have quite a lot of ladies with their balloon left. Oh, okay. Let's go down over there. All right, your name and age, and why did you end up popping your balloon?
My name is Anita. I'm 37. Um, I was trying to hear him out. I know you said you've been on the show before, and I don't know that I felt like a red flag, but I don't think there's like an attraction between us.
Okay. Okay.
No, she's someone that's your type?
Yeah. She's my type. Definitely, I like her skin tone. I like dark skinned women. She's beautiful. You know what I mean? And I like the
didn't
fact
think-
that you got braids. Like
It's a mohawk.
you embracing your yeah.
Oh, I'm shocked, and I didn't think you were attracted.
Why are you shocked?
I don't know. I didn't think I was his type.
I should think that, but
Yeah, nah, you very beautiful. I like your skin tone again, and you got gorgeous almond eyes, and yeah.
Okay.
so are you still leaving your balloon unpopped? Is he someone that is your type?
He's attractive. I just didn't think I was his type.
Why are you eliminating yourself? You want the balloon back?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get that balloon back.
So this clip has sparked this huge discussion about colorism and insecure dark-skinned women. And when I first saw the clip, I thought, okay, maybe people are calling Anita insecure because she mentioned being dark-skinned in the full version. So initially, I had the same thoughts as most people until I watched the full video and I didn't hear Anita say that she didn't think she was Josh's type specifically because she was dark-skinned. But the Black community is assuming that she is insecure about her skin complexion. And maybe she is. I could definitely see how it comes off that way. But it's also possible to love yourself as a dark-skinned woman and find yourself beautiful and understand that you might not be a man's type for whatever reason. And it's interesting how people are always telling dark-skinned women, oh, well, y'all need to accept that you're not going to be everyone's type. And here you have a dark-skinned woman who seemed to accept that, whether it was true or not, and the community is in shambles. And I am going to discuss dark-skinned women prematurely disqualifying themselves later on in the video because Anita definitely did that, which I don't think that was the most strategic way to handle the situation. But outside of that, I do see a lot of colorist assumptions and projection coming from Black people because I didn't see Anita pop the balloon on the guy before Josh. So it is possible that she just got a different vibe from Josh. Or it low-key could have been that Anita really didn't find Josh that attractive and she just didn't want to be 100% honest about it. So she said that she felt that they weren't physically compatible. Because that's what she said first, before she said that, oh, I didn't think that I was your type. I don't think he was her type, and I don't think that she thought that she was his type either. And so after considering that and then watching the whole show, I am just not 100% convinced that Anita disqualified herself solely because of her skin color, but I could be wrong. And I know some people are going to say, oh, well, people are just used to dark-skinned women having low self-esteem and being insecure, and that's why the assumption was made. But that argument is interesting because when dark-skinned women assume someone is colorist due to microaggressions and they don't specifically mention skin tone, we're told, oh, well, they didn't mention skin tone. It's not colorism if skin tone isn't mentioned. Okay, so let's apply that same logic to Anita. She didn't actually say anything about her skin color. So how do you know that she's insecure about her complexion? Do y'all see how the rules are different and everyone else can just assume anything they want about a dark-skinned woman, but we aren't allowed to make assumptions about them? See, y'all got to start paying attention to the colorist double standards and clocking it when you see them. We also need to learn how to play dumb when it's convenient for us to play dumb, like when other people do it to us. What are you talking about? Anita didn't mention her skin color, so I don't know what you're talking about. See, that's how dark-skinned women need to start playing this game, but clearly we're not smart enough to do that yet. But in my opinion, Black people are assuming Anita disqualified herself because of her complexion. Because deep down, they know how colorist Black men are. They know how colorist the community is. So they automatically thought, oh, well, she disqualified herself because she's dark-skinned. In my opinion, it is an admission of guilt. And if you ask me, the community was projecting their guilt on her, their colorist guilt on her. Because let's just say this man were white. Let's just say Josh were white. And she popped the balloon on him and said, well, I just didn't think that I was your type. I guarantee that the conversation from Black people would be totally different. And they would understand why she popped her balloon. They would say, oh, well, white men don't usually like Black women, and they really be fetishizing dark-skinned women, so I understand why she disqualified herself. And Black women, we can't trust white men, so I get it. I get why she popped her balloon. See, Black people are more honest about racism than they are about colorism. But because this was a Black man, instead of keeping it real about colorism and keeping it real about how Black men treat dark-skinned women and how it could potentially make them insecure, they made her the problem. And now suddenly, they're all experts in self-esteem and high confidence and telling her how she needs to love herself, when a lot of them are probably the same people who have at some point been colorist or excused colorism. They're probably the same people gluing lace fronts and fake baby hairs on their foreheads because they don't like their natural hair. They're probably the same ones who aren't instilling self-love in their own dark-skinned daughters, yet they're telling this dark-skinned woman to get some self-esteem. Notice how they're not telling her how. How does she get her self-esteem? This community is just so fake to me. I honestly can't take them seriously when it comes to this. Self-esteem is not built in a vacuum. You can't just tell dark-skinned women to get self-esteem when the community doesn't pour into them like they pour into light-skinned women and Black men. Unambiguous dark-skinned women and girls are like gardens and flowers that Black people don't water and then wonder why they don't grow and flourish like everyone else they pour into. And what I mean by pour into, I'm talking about just validate their beauty. Because we know that the Black community pretty much treat everybody like shit, but you get what I'm saying. But self-esteem is not built in a vacuum, and anyone who says that it is lying. Anyone who says that they get their confidence and their self-esteem solely from themselves is lying. That's not how humans work. We get our self-esteem from other people, and we also get it from ourselves. And light-skinned women and Black men and white women, they're not walking around all arrogant with high confidence and high self-esteem because they gave it to themselves. That's bullshit. Now, since we know that the community is not going to do that for unambiguous dark-skinned women and girls, we do have to pour into ourselves and we do have to build up ourselves. We're one of the only group of people that have to do that. But building ourselves up, dark-skinned women, starts with not participating in dumbass shows like Pop the Balloon. It's just another platform where Black women can go to potentially get humiliated and embarrassed. And I can tell Anita doesn't watch my videos because if she did, she wouldn't be on a show like Pop the Balloon. She would have way too much pride for that as a dark-skinned woman. Now, with all of that said, let's just say that Anita did disqualify herself because of her skin tone. It will be understandable because colorism is real. But the most strategic thing to do in a situation where you may not feel like you're a man's type is to wait for him to tell you first, ladies. Especially if you're on a dumbass show like Pop the Balloon. But this applies to any interaction with men. When you assume that you're not a man's type and you express that to him, or if you ask a man if you're his type or ask him if he dates Black women or dates dark-skinned women, because I see a lot of y'all doing that online. When you do that, you're pretty much giving him the opportunity to lie to you about what his type is. Because most men aren't going to just say, no, you're not my type to your face. Most men are not going to do that. Some men will, but most men are not going to do that, especially when they have a camera in their face and they're on a speed dating show. They're going to tell you how much they love women who look exactly like you and how you're so beautiful, especially if you're on there like, oh, I didn't think I was your type, or if you ask them what their type is. And I'm not saying that Josh was lying. He could have definitely been telling the truth because there are men who love dark-skinned women. But I'm just telling you, ladies, men can pick up on your insecurities and they will literally say anything to make you feel good. And you cannot just go off their words, especially when it comes to Black men, especially when it comes to some of these smooth talking Black men. They know just what to say. And they've been listening to these colorism conversations too, so they're more aware of that. And they try not to appear colorist, especially when they go on these dating shows. But, they've been listening, so they don't want to come off as, the colorist, self-hating Black man. But you have to vet all men regardless of race, ladies. You have to vet them to learn if you're their true type or not. And that includes analyzing the way he treats you. Also looking at his dating history, looking at the women he follows online, etc. And I talk more about this in the video I just did on how to stop being a placeholder for men. So be sure to watch that if you haven't already. But you can never just go by a man's words. You have to go off of his actions and his body language. And in general, Black women, dark-skinned Black women, you need to be very careful about prematurely disqualifying and eliminating yourselves, not just romantically, but socially as well. And the YouTuber Shakira touched on this in her recent video about Anita, so make sure you go check it out. I really like Shakira because she is proof that you can be successful and beautiful and still discuss colorism truthfully. And she's not scared of colorists either, like some of these other insecure dark-skinned women who've been popping up on YouTube. So I appreciate that. But she talked about how many times Black women, and especially dark-skinned women, disqualify and limit themselves in so many different areas, romantically, socially, professionally, and even promotionally. We just saw dark-skinned Black women fall for the pandering in the movie Sinners, and y'all got mad at any dark-skinned woman who was not satisfied with the promotion and wanted better. A lot of y'all don't think you deserve to be promoted exceptionally in movies like other races of women or other complexions of women. So we accept subpar promotion and the bare minimum. So this mentality spills out in so many different areas. We don't think any man outside of a Black man will choose us, so we go on shows like Pop the Balloon. We don't think we deserve high-earning men because we're dark. We don't think that we'll be accepted in multicultural or upper-class environments, so we limit ourselves to Black spaces only. There's different ways that we disqualify and eliminate ourselves as Black women. It's not just romantically. And I'm not saying that any of this applies to Anita specifically, but I do notice that a lot of Black women struggle with impostor syndrome and thinking that we're automatically going to be rejected because of how we look or because of our skin tone or because of our race, because we're Black. And honestly, just being real, sometimes you will be rejected. I mean, that's life. Sometimes you will get a no because you're Black or because you're dark skinned. And sometimes you'll get a yes, but you won't experience the yes if you never try or you stop trying after 1, 2, or even 3 no's. Or if you automatically disqualify yourself from certain situations in certain spaces. So, I do understand what other people were saying about this as well. And, telling Anita not to disqualify herself. And again, it could have been a vibe that she got. I'm not even saying that she was wrong, but I just feel like she should have waited until he said it first. And so, ladies, just make sure you're doing that strategically. Make sure you're eliminating yourself strategically. You know what I'm saying? And if you are eliminating yourself due to some type of underlying insecurity, be honest about that. And you have to get in your head that you are qualified just like everyone else. And this goes for anything that you make yourself qualified for, whether it be a certain kind of man, a certain career, etc. Now, of course, don't be delusional about your abilities or ignore any flaws that you have or anything you need to improve upon. For example, if you know you're too big and you know that losing weight will attract more romantic options and higher earning men, don't lie to yourself about it. Just lose the weight. Don't be delusional about your level of beauty and how you're viewed in society. Not every woman's a quote unquote 10, and that's okay. If you're not a 10, that's okay. If you're average, that's okay. Average is not a bad word. Average women level up. They get high earning men every day. They just play up on other qualities that they have, right? So you don't want to be delusional, but if you have done the work and you put in the effort on yourself, you have to believe that you deserve someone that does that in return. You have to walk in the room like you belong there, and you have to believe that you belong there. And the way my mother instilled that belief in me is just helping me realize that people are people. And in reality, nobody is more qualified than you to take up space just because they're lighter or whiter than you. I told y'all that my mama raised me to be pro-blackity black, but she took me everywhere and she used to walk in spaces just so unbothered. Like she didn't care. Like she knew she belonged there. She had me around Black people, white people, all races and cultures. She never had imposter syndrome. She never believed that she couldn't take up space in any room that she wanted to be in. And my stepfather especially taught me not to accept less from men just because I'm dark-skinned. Oh, he taught me how to keep them standards sky high, okay? That's why my standards are the way they are in men, in life, in representation, everything. That's why I don't settle like a lot of y'all. I didn't get the same messaging that a lot of y'all get in Blackistan. And a lot of y'all get that, oh, you just need to settle because you dark-skinned type of messaging from your family. Even if it's not explicitly stated, it's implied. A lot of y'all are getting that from your own mamas, your daddies, everybody. I didn't get that. And a lot of y'all be trying to flip it on me and make it seem like I'm insecure because I don't like to settle when it's really y'all. Y'all are the insecure ones that are just okay with settling for the bare minimum. Don't be trying to project your insecurities onto me. I want the best, and I want other dark-skinned women to want the best. The best or nothing at all, period. And so, when I look at this clip, when I look at Anita, I'm thinking, okay, maybe she's just one of those women who, maybe she felt like she could do better. maybe, just maybe, she wanted more physical chemistry in that moment. I don't know. Maybe she really thought she could do better. But because Black people have in their heads that a dark-skinned woman doesn't qualify for better, you just assume that she disqualified herself because she's dark-skinned and has low self-esteem, when it could have actually been the exact opposite. And I'm just giving her the benefit of the doubt. Again, I could be totally wrong. I'm just basing my opinion off of the whole show and not just that little clip. But yeah, I didn't have too much to say about this. Let me know what you guys took away from the clip. Let me know down in the comments. Also, be sure to like and share this video, subscribe, and I'll catch up with you in the next one.